The outgoing Algerian ambassador to Uganda, His Excellency Sharif, who paid a courtesy call on him at State House Entebbe. During the meeting, President Museveni bid farewell to Ambassador Sharif and thanked him for the good work during his time of service in Uganda. The outgoing ambassador expressed gratitude to President Museveni for strengthening the bilateral relations between Uganda and Algeria. He also commended the president for securing and unifying Uganda, an attribute that has created a conducive environment for investment to prosper in the country. Besides boosting its bilateral economic ties with Uganda, the ambassador assured President Museveni that Algeria remains committed to contributing to human development resources in Uganda through the granting of civil and military scholarships, the number of which is on the increase year after year. On the other hand, His Excellency Sharif also assured the president that Algeria has an open market for Uganda's powdered milk. In response, President Museveni noted that he was going to encourage the Ugandan dairy companies not to waste time and utilize the available opportunity in Algeria. Now, President Yoweri Museveni has expressed his deep condemnation of the cowardly act that occurred on Tuesday evening, resulting in the tragic deaths of two foreign tourists, reportedly newlyweds on their Ugandan honeymoon and their Ugandan driver. Their assailants, suspected to be Allied Democratic Forces rebels, carried out the attack in the Queen Elizabeth National Park in western Uganda. Now, in a message on the president's official X social media handle, Museveni said, and I quote, "It was a cowardly act on the part of the terrorists attacking innocent civilians and tragic for the couple who were newlyweds and visiting Uganda on their honeymoon. Of course, these terrorists will pay with their own wretched lives." The president indicated that government of Uganda will reach out to the respective countries overboard. Our High Commission in the UK will reach out to their families and provide whatever support is necessary in this tragic situation. More importantly, the UPDF, the police, the UWA and intelligences should ensure these mistakes do not happen again and that ADF is wiped out. Museveni assured Ugandans that the security agencies will bring all those involved in these attacks to book. The terrorists will be defeated, like Konyin was defeated, and the cattle rustlers that have been killing people in Karamoja and the surrounding districts, or those that were cutting people with pangas, Bijambia, in Masaka. The Minister for Security, Jim Muhwezi, has updated Parliament on the ongoing investigations into the deadly attack on the tourists at Queen Elizabeth National Park. Minister Muhwezi maintained this status as addressed by President Yoweri Museveni in a statement issued through his ex social media handle. Muhwezi read to the members the president's statement, which among others entailed a detailed way forward as far as the investigations are concerned.
It was a cowardly act on the part of the terrorists attacking innocent civilians, and tragic for the couple who were newlyweds and visiting Uganda. Our High Commission in the UK will reach out to their families and provide whatever support is necessary in this tragic situation. More importantly, the UPDF, the police, the Uganda Wildlife Authority and intelligence services should ensure these mistakes do not happen again and that ADF is wiped out. The wiping out is moving very well. What needs to be done is to ensure that remnants do not commit these atrocities. There were a few gaps in the handling of these remnants. UWA was guarding tourists once they were in the park. However, apparently, the tourists were arriving and departing individually. It is this gap that they used. Secondly, UPDF has been using one form of tracking these fugitive groups from Congo, Kufata Nyayo, following their tracks, Echsinde, Echarari. There are more reliable ways of tracking, which we have discussed with the army. The terrorists will be defeated like Konyi was defeated, and the cattle rustlers that have been killing people in Karamoja and the surrounding districts, or those that were cutting people with pangas, the Bijambia, in Masaka. May the souls of may their souls rest in eternal peace. Signed, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, General Retired, Sabarwanyi.
Honorable colleagues, this matter, I don't want to open it up for any comments. I request you. It's a very sensitive matter.
Now, on issues on security has been deployed heavily at the Queen Elizabeth National Park at the scene of the last evening's suspected terror attack, where 2 foreign tourists and a local tour guide were murdered and their tour van set ablaze. The scene of crime has been cordoned off for much of the day as the police forensic officers collect samples to aid with investigations. The incident has terrified the residents of the area due to the rampancy of the attacks and the rising death toll.
Katwe Kawatoro is a home of nature, tourism and conservation. So that simply means that there is most likely to be a scare of the tourism economy. But the government is in charge. Our government is in charge, and this is just a one-off. It's just a one-off, and it should not scare the visitors from coming. Security is in control and the government is in charge. When there is security consciousness, we normally tell our people, please go to bed early. But this time they did not need even someone to tell them, please go to bed early. I can say that by 8 almost, nightlife was, we were in limbo. Not even a bird was singing by 8. So people were already security conscious. This morning, a team of security agencies headed by a leader from CMI in Kampala visited the scene of crime. Then they also drove up to here, Katwe town, and we drove with them, trying to make reconnaissance of what is in the area. Otherwise, we are encouraging our people to keep vigilant. I don't want to roll out to the perception that the bad man could even be hiding amongst the community members. I don't want to rule out the idea that maybe there could be collaboration.
Now, still on matters security, the Uganda People's Defence Forces have reassured the public, especially those in the tourism sector, of enhanced security measures despite the recent isolated incident that resulted in the tragic killing of 2 tourists and a tour guide. Brigadier General Felix Kulaije, the spokesperson of the UPDF, confirmed these stringent measures and checkpoints that have been established to apprehend ADF remnants attempting to infiltrate the country.
The UPDF has launched an operation to track down the suspected ADF rebels responsible for the tragic incident in Queen Elizabeth National Park. The victims include Baron David James, a UK citizen, a Rai Eric, a Ugandan, and a South African citizen.
We are inserted in assets, both physical and technical, to hunt down these fellows, and we are on the trail to ensure that these attackers are hunted down and killed. The bottom line, we are going to get these fellows. In fact, before the end of today, I'm very sure there will be shock in the terrorist heartland.
UPDF is working closely with other security agencies to ensure a swift response in capturing the suspected ADF remnants, and thus want to assure stakeholders in the tourism sector not to be alarmed by this isolated incident.
What I want to assure the tourists is that, isolated as I've indicated, certainly this won't happen again. There are resources that we have had to put in place in terms of the technical intelligence capabilities to ensure that we monitor the movements in the national parks. Number two, you are aware that the national parks have their own security. The Uganda-Algeria Authority has its own security that is reinforced with UPDF. So this vigilance will continue. They don't have to worry.
The UPDF urges the public along the Uganda-DRC border to remain vigilant, as ADF remnants may attempt to re-enter Uganda while fleeing from the UPDF and FADC forces in the DRC.
They hoped this would divert us from inside Congo to come back, so that they are relieved of the pressure we have mounted. So you are right, we have mounted pressure, but we have also deployments this side of the border to ensure that these attacks are mitigated or stopped.
In the past week, suspected ADF rebels have been responsible for at least 2 incidents, resulting in the deaths of 5 individuals. This underscores the importance of public vigilance and heightened security awareness to mitigate their potential threats. Abdul Nasiri Luwama and Rogers Komagom for UBC.
The killing of the 2 foreign tourists and a Ugandan tour guide in Queen Elizabeth National Park 4 days after they had banned a truck ferrying onions to Mpondwe Lubiriha Market along the same stretch of the national park towards Bwera Town Council in Bukonzo West constituency in Kasese district affirms the infiltration of the ADF splinter groups through the UPDF built defensive wall and causing mayhem in the backyard of the forward base. How the nasty incidents are following each other within a space of 1 week is a question that many security analysts and Ugandans are asking. Where is the internal security organization? What went wrong? Our senior reporter Haruna Mutasasida gives an inside story on why it has been possible for the ADF splinter groups to sneak in and out and the UPDF defensive wall in the DRC to Uganda, despite the tremendous achievements registered by the joint forces of UPDF and FADC. Let's have the report.
Trending gruesome pictures of 2 bodies and the burning vehicle all over the social media after the suspected ADF rebel attacked the tourists in Uganda's biggest national park, located at the foothills of Mountain Rwenzori. Such an attack on tourists is very rare, and it has come at a time when Uganda People's Defense Forces UPDF are hunting down the smaller ADF group deep inside DRC. The killing of these tourists after they had burnt a truck ferrying onions to Mpondwe Lubiriha Market along the same stretch of the national park towards Bwera Town Council in Bukonzo West 5 days later affirms the infiltration and causing mayhem in the backyard of the forward base.
So the hunt is going to continue wherever they are going. The joint forces of FRDC and the UPDF continue to hunt them down. Continuous reviews are done by the commanders to advise on what should be done at strategic level. No efforts by the terrorists will divert us from DRC back here.
The incident falls bare a month after the government of Uganda and DR Congo extended the joint military operation to Sector 4, 150 kilometers to pursue the remaining group under the command of ADF rebel leader Musa Baluku. This bombardment now explains the presence and sneaking in and out of the ADF splinter groups through the UPDF and FADC defense mechanism to the backyard of the forward operation base, where they are now causing mayhem.
I think it's all about pressure. The ADF had challenged us due to the vastness of the area, the thickets, but now we have got used to the targets. I mean to the situation on ground. 2nd Mountain Battalion is one of the first UPDF battalions that crossed to work with the FRDC jointly.
Routine airstrikes have been the game changer of Operation Suja in eastern DRC, and the ADF attacks in the backyard of Operation Suja is to a large extent intended to divert the focus of the joint troops and concentrate on the small pockets. However, the question that remains unanswered is whether internal security organization, multi-layered intelligence gathering structures are doing enough to outsource useful intelligence crews to the fighting men and women on the battlefield against the ADF remnants. On December 16, 2022, UPDF 8th Battalion killed more than 30 ADF out of 51 who tried to sneak into Uganda using canoe boats on River Semuriki through Chapa and Kayanja in Ntoroko district. The joint forces launched a blistering attack on all their major camps of Kambia Yua, Tondoli and Medina. This led the remaining ADF group to hide in Malika Valley. Being a huge valley, ADF thought it was safer for them to sprint into smaller groups to avoid being detected. After successful battles against the ADF, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, promoted the 3 commanders who were instrumental in Mwalika, Karuma, Musei, Butembo operations. The three includes Lieutenant Colonel Jet Tuliabe, Sector 3 and 301 Brigade Commander, was promoted to a full colonel. Major Chombe, Commander Merchant Battalion, and Major Agaba Winston were also promoted to Lieutenant Colonel. Major General D. Kolum, the Operation Suja commander, is convinced that several continuous attacks have caused much damage to the ADF and have turned their hunger to innocent civilians. Haruna Mutesasira, UBC News.
Thank you, Haruna, for that in-depth report. Now, family members and colleagues of the late tour guide Eric Aliai, who tragically lost his life to suspected ADF assailants in Queen Elizabeth National Park, have come together at his residence in Nachiwogo, Wakiso district, to pay their respects. Aliai, who was on the last day of his honeymoon with a couple in Kasese district, met a tragic end.
On Tuesday, 17th October 2023, Ugandans were shocked as news broke that 3 tourists had been killed by unknown assailants in Queen Elizabeth National Park, Kasese district. This upsetting news was later confirmed by security operatives, pointing towards DRC-based ADF militants as the perpetrators of the attacks.
Suspected ADF terrorists.
The victims included a couple on their honeymoon tour, along with the 3rd victim, the tour guide Eric Aliai. On Wednesday, an umbrella organization representing tour guides in Uganda has convened in Entebbe, Wakiso district to commiserate the loss of one of their own.
We don't know whether the people who think about robbery knows about that, but we have that general feeling about the communities here, that when they see a tourist, they think they are carrying a lot of money with them.
We, as friends, have always been hanging around together. At least every week we could find a day, have time to each other, share jokes. We have really lost a friend.
He's a very outgoing guy. I met this guy in Bwindi when he first started doing safaris.
It is worth noting that Aliai was a resident of Rugonjo in Nachiwogo, Wakiso district.
Eric is dead. You see, Eric is dead. Then I had to collapse. Nedda, Daddy Nedda, Eric Nedda. No, my colleague has called me. Colleague wangangani. Onosiye mwana wo. Onosiye mwana wo ngandaga simu. Nenga bifananyi bye simu ngabiragira ddala ngandaba Eric gwemanyi buli.
Aliai has left a 1-year-and-a-half toddler and wife.
Kola agenze mu trip teri Queen yangamba yagenze kukola naye agenda akusokera Queen kubanga ba clients bagenda ku Entebbe bagende ne flight then bamusange Kasese. Do you still have money? Za kukozesa? No. naguze eddagala lya mwana zaweddewo nangamba kansale pulaani nkole ki nkusindikire ku ssente.
The latter year joined the tours and travel industry in 2016, and his lifelong dream was to make Uganda one of the premier tourism destinations in Africa. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Very, very heartbreaking. We do mourn with the family of the tour guide and also the families of the tourists. UBC News Tonight continues. Tour operators are concerned about increased insecurity in Western Uganda. They claim this is threatening their business and are already registering cancellations from earlier booked tour trips. Last evening's attack on 2 tourists and the driver of a tourist vehicle in Nyamunuka along Katwe Road is the latest attack suspected to have been carried out by the ADF rebels.
Because once you mention rebels, it is really big that it is a threat for sure. Because as far as I know, there is no serious investigation that has gone to say rebels. This is hindering our industry because now some of us have been booked already, especially with the Queen Elizabeth. But if we are to lose, some are going to cancel the bookings, others are going to relocate with the bookings, and others are not going to appear. So as I talk, we really don't know what is going to happen, but we are here waiting. But it is already a threat.
So as a tour company, who does the responsibility of security fall on? Is it you as a tour company or the parks that they are going to travel in?
Of course, both of us are concerned, but mostly the country has to provide the best security, because when I talk about the Queen Elizabeth, it has the UPDF inside the park. It has the UPDF and the rangers. That alone, that is safety. But now this incident happened outside the park along Katwe Road. I think you all know. Literally, that one is really out of. I would say I'm protecting my industry because it is really not in our concern too much, because at least for us we protect the inside of the park. So now that concerns the police outside the park.
UBC News Tonight takes a short breather, but we return with more stories after these messages.
Metu Bus Industries Namambe, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators and special purpose vans. Metu Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover, with just seats or a special design that includes a restroom, power outlet, Wi-Fi, television and a refreshment center. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda.
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cashback every week. It's free of charge.
Wano nno tuli Bukoto era lero we tugenda okugaba pichipichi yaffe eri omwanguzi waffe wano we tuzze.
I'm so excited and I'm sure even all the people, all the staff at Kwaliwath are all excited. We thank you very, very much.
Myaka 25 nga MTN ewereza naye nga buli week tugaba pichipichi 5.
Very, very excited. I'm excited about MTN giving back to its customers. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much, MTN. The fact that we have won really shows that people like Mama. Their services are really nice. MTN, your services are okay. The network is good. We are satisfied.
Chikola sense ne?
Use the Momo app or dial *165 *3#.
In this family, we can't agree on anything. We can't even agree on what to watch. All the games to play.
Martha,
Ndowoza mulabi. We can't even agree on what to eat. At least the one thing for now we can all agree on is the soap to use. He likes that it's big and lasts long. Anti-economy. I like that it keeps my skin smooth. Ate alina echovu. And the children like that. It smells amazing. Everyone is happy. Movit soap comes in 4 fantastic flavors. Movit family soap is truly soap for the whole family.
Movit. All day confidence.
So, you are ready to invest in Airtel's initial public offering? Good choice. I'm going to show you how to do it straight from your phone. First, you're going to want to make sure you have a Securities Central Depository SCD account. Dial *185*85# from your Airtel number. Choose Airtel IPO purchase from the available options. Enter your valid national identification number when prompted. Before you purchase, there are a few things you need to know. The minimum purchase is 2,500 shares. The share price is 100 Uganda shillings. Select the number of shares you wish to purchase. Choose your relevant broker for the purchase. Enter your Airtel Money PIN to confirm the transaction. Congratulations! You will receive a confirmation message of your successful purchase.
Sebo.
Yes?
This is the bill.
What?
Malaria testing, 10,000. Treatment, 100,000 since we put on drip.
Hey, Musao, can you read this for me? Before I brought my wife here, I'd already spent money on buying herbal medicine and drugs from the pharmacy, which didn't work.
But Sebo, the government gave out mosquito nets. Doesn't your family use them?
We got the mosquito nets, but they got holes and we didn't know what to do.
Protect your loved ones from malaria. Sew your mosquito nets whenever they get damaged to keep the mosquitoes away. Ensure all nets are tied up every morning to avoid damaging them. Ensure that everyone in your family sleeps under a treated mosquito net every night, whether it is a cold or hot season. Together, we can chase malaria out of Uganda. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from Global Fund.
No malaria catch. Did you know that you can safely and conveniently make your school fees payments anytime, any school, anywhere using Airtel Money? Oh yes! Simply pick up your phone and dial *185#. Select option 6, school fees. Choose between school pay, peg pay, or shore pay. Enter student number. Enter amount, confirm name and transaction. Enter Airtel Money PIN. A confirmation message will be sent to you upon a successful transaction. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Metu Bus Industries Namambe, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators and special purpose vans. Metu Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover with just seats or a special design that includes a restroom, power outlet, Wi-Fi, television and a refreshment center. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda.
Are you passionate about a healthy living and wealth generation for your household? Learn how you can easily tap wealth and health from Mother Nature using science and technology. Omukenkufu Nyanzi Julius Echuma Chiwagala Chuma has written a knowledge-packed book, Money Grows on Trees, Sente Zimera Committee. Grab your copy today at 20,000 shillings only at Prof Bio Research Equatorial Mall, Aristoc Booklex branches, Acacia Mall, Garden City, Kampala Road, and Jumia, Uganda. Or call 0703-152-152 for deliveries. Remember, Money Grows on Trees, Sente Zimera Committee book is autographed by Omukenkufu Nyanzi Julius himself.
Welcome back from that break, and we're glad that you're still with us here on UBC News Tonight. Now, the First Lady and the Minister of Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, has advised communities of Ntungamo district on how to maximize the benefits of the parish development model. The First Lady mentioned enterprises like goat rearing, highlighting its sustainability, especially for women who have access to grazing land. She explained that goats multiply rapidly and can be sold to generate income, which can be reinvested in larger ventures such as cow rearing. She also talked about growing beans and cited some women in Kanungu who are very hardworking and have greatly benefited from growing beans.
The First Lady talked about enterprises like goat rearing, which she said is easy especially for women if they have land to graze them, because the goats multiply quickly, and when sold off, one can use the money to upgrade to a bigger enterprise like rearing a cow. She also talked about growing beans and cited some women in Kanungu who are very hardworking and have greatly benefited from growing beans.
Enterprise selection ni kintu kikuru otsente twakora tutungi otutomu kintu ekyokumanya oti kwakuza kwaho emyezi 3 nja kuba nyine kinehirimo.
The First Lady was addressing stakeholders of the PDM program from Kajara County, who she met at Rashamiri Town Council Playground, and this was the beginning of her 1-week monitoring of the implementation of the Parish Development Model Program in Ntungamo District, where she's also the NRM chairperson. The participants in the meeting included Kajara's Member of Parliament, Honorable Michael Timuzigu, and Ntungamo District Women MP, Honorable Jocelyn Bata Kamatenet, the LC5 Chairman, Muchunguzi Samuel, the RDC, Muchunguzi Geoffrey, and other political and technical leaders from Ntungamo District and the 5 sub-counties, 4 town councils, and the 33 parishes and wards in Kajara County, some of the PDM beneficiaries and opinion leaders. According to reports presented by the parish chiefs, the 33 parishes and wards in Kajara County have each received 117 million shillings in 3 disbursements since the national launch of the PDM strategy in February 2022. The disbursement rate to the beneficiaries currently stands at 75.3%.
Abantu bahereza miliyoni buri muntu nko guidelines zabenzi tugambira so abantu bitu bakabenefitinga kandi bariyo no bakora abamwe baguziremo mpunu abandi baguramu ebyetago byabo
17 tukazibahereza buri omara kutunga miliyoni tukafuna abakazi 45 abafunire zo sente abashija 30 eminyeto 20 abakuziri 10 abino burema 12
bona abantu sente bakazitunga kandi bariyo bakoraje ebintu biba zipiremo
ani ntura ninkundo kuhinga yego nabandi abatakani bachimangu nyonkundo kuhinga konka nkambuzire ntando ngeni hata nkajibona mpinjire kimwe bihimba.
In the status report presented by the Chief Administrative Officer Ntungamo, Mathias Ndifuna, the total amount of money received by the district is Ugandan shilling 13,870,000,000 shillings. And as of 29th September 2023, Parish Revolving Fund worth Ugandan shilling 9,257,320,000 had been disbursed to 9,265 beneficiary households. A balance of Ugandan shilling 944,650,000 is yet to be distributed. Among the challenges encountered during the implementation of the PDM in Ntungamo district were highlighted included lack of operational funds to monitor and evaluate the program, coupled with lack of transport means, lack of office facilities for the parishes, and lack of facilitation for the PDC and PDM circle leaders. The First Lady appreciated the stakeholders for the far they have gone in the implementation of the PDM. She informed them that since President Museveni became the leader of government, he has been trying hard to get means of helping all the people of Uganda to get out of poverty by not only working for consumption, but also income. She explained that the number of people who cannot support themselves at all has been reducing with time and is now at 39%, and the Parish Development Model Program was started targeting these people.
Tukagira ngu esente hati zitatungwa kandi bari ababere batungire ntandukwa ababere batungire eza wealth creation ababere batungire ikindi esente hati zahari aba bantu ababere batine kibatungireho ngo nabo bakatandika bagira kubabasa kwegombuoro.
Mrs. Museveni said that while in exile in Tanzania, she was among those people who could not support themselves because she had no job and no source of income to feed the family. Therefore, she knows what it means and how painful it is to have a family to look after, and yet you have no source of income.
Mbeni wetekateka omukazi oyina abaana bana otaine murumo n'omushaija atariho niwe nka oyine kureba ngu abaana aba barya bajwara bashoma babaho nimanye eki kikumanyisa.
She encouraged Ugandans to take advantage of the NRM government's programs to ensure that even those 39% who do not have any source of income also get out of this situation and become better. Reporting for UBC, Baguma William.
Thank you, Baguma William. Now the Minister of State at the Ministry of Defence and Veteran Affairs, Oleru Huda, has urged researchers to conduct their research with integrity to ensure the authenticity of their findings is beyond question. She made this statement during the International Research and Development Conference held at Kampala International University.
The International Research Conference is an academic gathering focused on providing a platform for scholars to discuss contemporary issues, innovations, technologies, and challenges with the aim of offering potential solutions.
It's supposed to be said to reply.
The Minister of State for Defence and Veteran Affairs, Oleru Huda, who presided over the conference, believes that the government should allocate more funds to private universities for research.
Yearly, the government has been giving funding, especially to Makerere as a government university. But these private universities are not bad. It's just how you reach the government and you put your issue there, you get the funding.
She emphasized that there is an abundance of untapped talent due to lack of funding. She also stressed the importance of involving youth in research activities to advance the country towards becoming an industrial state.
So research is a security issue. It's a security issue so that you know the one who is doing it has the heart for the citizens of the country, and it must be the nationals to do it.
The International Research Conference attracts participants from various countries, including Nigeria, Tanzania, among others. The Vice-Chancellor of Kampala International University, Muhammad Mpazamhingo, expressed optimism that the conference timing is crucial and will contribute to finding solutions to ongoing challenges in the country, such as climate change.
Telling our research scientists, those who can do proper investigations, to come up not only with very excellent publications, but try as much as possible to partner with industry, to partner with the young people, to partner with practitioners. There are people outside there who are involved in trying to be very creative in fixing problems of day-to-day life. And so this is the solution, where the university now goes to the people. Instead of people coming to the universities have to go to the people and try and learn from them.
The International Research and Development Conference was held under the theme African Leadership and Development Challenges. Justin Nakami, UBC News.
The leader of opposition, Matthias Mpuga, has once again led his MPs out of the House, arguing that without addressing Tuesday's plenary ending with today's heavy security deployment, they are constrained to continue under such circumstances. The legislators also demanded answers why UBC TV, NTV and NBS were banned from streaming live today's plenary proceedings.
Opposition legislators have once again walked out of today's plenary sitting in protest of heavy deployment in Parliament and also denying them a chance to table the video showing the alleged human rights violations by security operatives.
Honourable Speaker, my side is still demanding that this House will progress well if we have that debate concluded, right, Honourable Speaker. That even when you are communicating that effect, our space, our house is not safe, that we are actually surrounded. They're surrounded by the military, including vehicles in which some of us were dumped during the Tujikwatako debate, and they are surrounding Parliament.
The leader of the opposition also wants answers why UBC TV, NTV and NBS were banned from streaming live today's plenary proceedings. The opposition insists that the Internal Affairs Minister, Major General Jim Muhwez, must explain the security attack on the National Unity Platform party offices recently, in which party leaders and supporters were arrested.
The video was never played. You all recollect the circumstances under which it was withdrawn. The Speaker changed his motivation and therefore changed the goalposts, and the video was never played, meaning that there was a deliberate attempt to frustrate our response to the statement made by the Minister of Internal Affairs. Of course, as human beings, we felt a sense of frustration and betrayal. The subsequent actions of the various members, the suspension of our own members, 5 members.
Despite the walkout, the House proceeded with business. As the tensions remain high, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament maintained the fort to remind the MPs of the parliamentary rules of procedure. Shamim Naiga and Gloria Gutabenji, Parliament.
The preparations for the 57th coronation anniversary for the Busoga and the 14th recognition of the Rwenzururu Kingdom after its restoration in 2009 are in high gear. Now, several guests have already arrived in Kasese ahead of the ceremony. Now, as Ivan Kawa reports, the coronation will take place at the Royal Hill at Base Camp 2 in Kasese District.
Preparations for the 57th coronation ceremony of the Omusinga Charles Wesley Mumbere are ongoing in Kasese district, and specifically at Base Camp Hill Upper, that is the Royal Hill, is where many of the activities are actually going on. 3 shrines have been erected at this specific hill to signify the importance of the culture.
Each of them is having a function. First of all, the biggest shrine that we have constructed is what we call the Erisingiro, the coronation house. That is where the rituals of crowning the king are conducted. Then there is the other house, we call it a museum, where all the royal regalia is kept. Then there is a special other house, we call it House of Mbita, or we may call it a Nyumba ya Hanji. That is the most important house where the king is supposed to go and first consult our supernatural deities or God who put us on Mount Rwenzori, a place that we revere, we are proud of it, and that's why we derive our livelihood.
So will these shrines remain here until then, or sometimes they get removed, then you reconstruct in case there is another coronation?
These shrines will keep there, we'll always keep on maintaining them because they are a symbol of our livelihood, our culture, our identity, and our traditions. So they will have to keep there, they will always be maintained, and each house has an attendant who will always keep on attending to it. And in the royal house, there must be fire that is everlasting, symbolizing the life on Mount Rwenzori.
According to the organizing committee, a few members will be allowed to access these shrines, and you also know that there has been worry about the incidents that have happened in Kasese where alleged terrorists did attack tourists, and also a few days ago they burnt down a truck carrying onions. But according to the organizing committee members, this has been addressed since the Uganda Police Force and other security agencies have been involved to ensure that their presence is enhanced while these activities are going on in Kasese.
The security in Kasese is being beefed up. The RDC, the DSO, the government, they are in charge, and they're telling us to be orderly and to help them as citizens. We are supposed to help them in being vigilant and know people who are not usually with us and report to them.
So we are happy for everyone, and we've started receiving delegations. Of course, the Kingdom of Koli has already sent a delegation. It's already here. We are with them. We've received them. So we are so happy for all those who are coming.
After the coronation of the Omusinga Charles Wesley Mumbere, there is a reception that has been organized at Golf Course where preparations are actually ongoing and tents are being erected, and that's where the members of the public will come and chant with their king after all their traditional ceremonies have been conducted. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News in Kasese District.
Ivan Kahwa, make sure you bring for me some hundu on your way back. Now, in more news this evening, more efforts have been put up in the fundraising process of the Busoga royal wedding of His Royal Highness William Gabula Nadiope IV. A royal banquet has been organized as part of the pre-royal wedding series at Kololo Independence Grounds to raise more funds.
The royal dinner organized, slated for 27th October 2023, is to give opportunity to friends of Busoga, corporate entities and other partners be part of the royal celebrations.
The top-notch red carpet event has been organized as part of a series of activities being conducted within Busoga and other areas to give opportunity to several friends of Busoga, not based in Busoga, corporate entities, humanitarian agencies, and other partners who showcase and be part of the royal celebrations.
This will be open to all guests and access shall be by card. A card cost 500,000 Ugandan shillings to be paid per guest, while corporate tables are to cost 5 million shillings.
That the preparations for the royal wedding, slated on 18th November 2023, are moving on well, and would like to appreciate all of the persons, individuals, companies, corporate and all entities that have associated with this historical event.
Abalina kadi eddo bantu babale olwokuba nti tutwenda dikolechi didaluke dityo asoka ni chairman wakakiiko ako kali kutegeka ekiwulo ekyo eggulo ekyo nga abina musanvu ni Frederick Chibedi akola ku PKF.
It's not also right to us even to anticipate and say we shall be able to raise so much, because culturally it's not allowed.
The committee is to host other series of activities in Jinja City, including cleaning the Bugembe headquarters, health camps in preparation of this royal wedding.
Shall have to plant trees, and we have chosen the Muvule tree, which is part of our culture, brought in by Kakungulu.
The royal wedding, dubbed Embaga ya Mwenemu, will take place on the 18th November 2023 at Bugembe Cathedral, where His Royal Highness the Chabazing of Busoga, William Gabula Nadiope IV, will wed the Inebantu Jovia Mutesi. Lydia Chomkama, UBC News.
Thank you, Lydia, for that report. Now, the Katikkiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Mayiga, has advised workers in all companies not to focus on salary, but love companies they work for to make them deliver services. He also appealed to companies to comply with taxes to enable them that have been existing for many years. Now, he appealed to companies to comply with taxes to enable in order to exist for more years. The Katikkiro said this during his courtesy visit at Plascon factory in Namamve.
Katikkiro Mayiga toured different sections in the factory and applauded the company for employing Ugandans. The factory employs over 800 and all were found busy working. After touring the factory, Katikkiro addressed workers and advised employees in all companies to love their jobs and companies not to prioritize salary.
When something bad happens to a company, the people who suffer first are not the MDs and all these managers. It's always you. That's what happens. Because the first beneficiaries of a growing company are the workers, the first level workers. That's my opinion. You can dispute it. You could have yours. But I've told you my mind. Treat this company like it were yours.
Katikkiro was concerned over roads in Namave, where many factories that pay much of the country's tax are in bad condition.
Taxes are important for the growth of any country. And I'm surprised that with all the taxes that all the companies in this area pay, all the roads are dirt roads. They're not paved. I'm very surprised. I travel a lot throughout Uganda, not only through the kingdom of Buganda. I travel a lot. Actually, last weekend, I was in Acholi. And the roads are very good that side. And even within Gulu town itself, the roads are being paved right now. Very good, because the people of Gulu need good roads. But I think the areas where the factories that generate the taxes are located should have paved roads.
The managing director of Plascon pledged to continue collaborating with the Buganda Kingdom to change people's livelihoods.
We believe in the power of partnerships because we know that to walk great distances, we must walk together. As Plascon, we will continue to support community development efforts together with our partners, both in cash and in kind.
The CEO of Majestic Brands, Kingdom's company, says the partnership with Plascon has bared fruits.
They have completed the painting of Twekobe, and right now we are handling the painting of Bulange building. I must say the work is meticulous. The team has been very cordial. They're well represented. We would like to thank you, and we do commit to protect your interests and promote you as the official partner of the kingdom in terms of the paint.
The Plascon company renewed the partnership with the Buganda Kingdom for 3 years. Lydia Chomkama, Andrew Sebira, UBC News.
9 individuals allegedly associated with the Allied Democratic Forces ADF have been committed to the High Criminal Division to face trial for more than 30 charges brought against them. Among these charges is the theft of firearms and the murder of 3 police officers at Busoga Police Station. This case was presided over by Chief Magistrate Ronald Kaizi of Buganda Road Court in Kampala.
In a significant development, the accused include Katende Moses, Abdul Ratif Balikowa, Weduma Adamu Goloba, Musana Faizo, Nakamate Aida, Namuganza Rehema, Kamara Rehema, Kabwiso Abdara, and Namwase Afsa. The charges against them include attempted murder, affiliation with a terrorist organization, Allied Democratic Forces, professing belief in terrorism organization, aggravated robbery, and financing terrorist organizations. The accused appeared at Buganda Road Magistrates Court under tight security. Prior to that trial, Chief Magistrate Ronald Kaizi amended the charge sheet to add Kabwiso Abdara, who faced 15 counts.
Ngabiri musatu ogwokuna omwaka ogwedde Kalanda's Village kusaaza alinga bbiri ogw'ekiro abantu abatamanya balumba convoy y'emmotoka ya Principal Judge omulamuzi w'omukulu akola kkooti enkulu ne bagikubako bbomu emmotoka emu ku mmotoka zitambula ku convoy ye neyonooneka. Wakati wa 2018-2023 mu bitundu ebyenjawulo mu Central, Eastern, Western ne Democratic Republic of Congo wakunganya ssente ng'ossa mobile money ne cash n'oziweereza abayeekera aba ADF okukola emirimu egy'obutujju.
Prosecution led by Ivan Chaze informed court that the investigations into the matter are complete and requested court the accused to be committed to High Court for trial. In a 33-page case summary, the court presented some of the evidence the prosecution will base on during the hearing of the case.
Call data, record printouts, phone matrix, the guns, motor vehicle and wreckages, motorcycles, pictures of motor vehicle from URA, know your customer documents, your details from NIRA, photographs, catch bags, digital evidence, including CCTV footages, projectors, shell casings, cartridges, video recordings, and others with leave of court.
As this case lacks jurisdiction to handle the offences against the accused, they were formally committed to High Court.
The person shall contend that the accused persons indicted in this case are all members of ADF engaged in carrying out various but well-coordinated operations. The actions are deliberate with purpose of facilitating ADF in Uganda. They were acted with common intention and in concert with each other and are all capable as such. Have you understood the indictment and some of the case A1? F5 Nakamate Aida, S6 Namuganza Rahma, and A9 Kabwiso Abdurrahman have been committed to the High Court for trial at the next convenient High Court session.
The accused were provided with a summary of the evidence.
The Uganda Registration Services Bureau Court has dismissed a case filed by Gashumba accusing the Office of the President for using the slogan Tova Kumain and a picture of President Museveni, which he claims ownership and copyright. Delivering his judgment, the court registrar, Birungi Dennis, said that by the time Gashumba registered the slogan with the Bureau, the Office of the President had already launched it.
In June this year, Frank Gashumba and Ibrahim Kitata, the Rengo district chairperson, took the case to Court of Uganda Registration Service Bureaus, accusing the Office of the President for using the Tova Kumain slogan. Delivering his judgment, URSB Registrar Dennis Birungi noted that the claims for ownership and copyright over Frank Gashumba and Ibrahim Kitata were not true.
It is not the author and cannot apply for registration of the disputed works. B, there is no evidence to prove that the first objector commissioned the applicant to develop the disputed works. C, the second objector has no copyright in the disputed works.
According to the ruling, the complainants registered the slogan after it had been launched by the Office of the President, and they had no ownership over the image of the President used.
The applicant has no ownership in the words forming part of the works as they predate his claimed date of authorship. Neither the color nor the italicized presentation of those words alone amount to originality. I have also determined that without authorization of the copyright holder of the image of the President, the applicant cannot claim derivative works in the silhouette.
Gashumba was represented by his lawyer Blair Ntambi, and Hajat Namyalo was represented by Usma Sebufu.
Just basing on an artistical work which was paid for. And in the actual sense, it is only Museveni that is supposed to claim, not any individual.
Frank Gashumba, the petitioner, said he is not satisfied with the ruling and will appeal.
Which I will not part. For me, I'm pursuing justice, and we are going to appeal to the High Court. I'm the mother, I'm the father to that concept of Malako Judge Tova Kumain. You get it? Because according to his judgment, the basis why he ruled in her favor that they used the slogan during the launch.
The Tova Kumain slogan, championed by Hajat Namyalo, gained momentum in late 2022 and is frequently used at NRM functions and events where President Yoweri Museveni has been endorsed for extending his leadership beyond 2026.
Ndeka wena mulamu. Otyo. Mbake mye rubona. Mubaire muri kolati.
ndije kulagirira ono ngeri gyebawayo kumbaga ya mwene ngwakozesa momope
esimu waje buliko
tola yesimu wena nakobya ironi gesimu tobulira
esimu yiri
ni gasita ndala mukaga 5 sita 3 otewe ashi onige yes balese chawo
balese merchant code gye balisaba mama kadi balati
kajo buzono wachi tamu nsanvu mirundi 3
balisaba
tamu sente dewe
amount baleta mobile money bali kunsaba pini
ebucha mpini yo
iwa imwe sasula
aye baba embaga ya mwene mwekuoniza
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cashback every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Lagos.
Welcome back. Now into the business scene. 64 additional local businesses have been considered for seed funding worth 4.8 billion Uganda shillings under the National Social Security Fund Innovation Program, dubbed High Innovator. This will bring the total number of businesses that have benefited from the program's seed funding to 306 since its inception in 2021.
After a rigorous pitching process and the announcement of the potential seed capital winners in the NSSF Mastercard Foundation High Innovator Program, the companies await the due diligence process before they receive 75 million Ugandan shillings seed capital.
So our program essentially is to try and get businesses to be more formal so that they can contribute to NSSF. And if they contribute to NSSF, that means that more people will have a chance of having a retirement income. When you formalize your business, you find it easier to raise money, to grow your business. You find it easier to get systems to support your business. And that means it's easier to employ people and pay them well.
Look at businesses that have not raised more than 1 billion in terms of grants or investment from any financial institution or development partner. We look at the potential to employ young people in the businesses. We have looked at businesses that are not sole proprietorships.
The mood was celebratory for many selected businesses. The third cohort included sectors such as agriculture, digital economy, light manufacturing, waste management, website and app developers, among others.
I'm so happy because it has opened that's our mileage into business, and I promise we are going to work hard and we are going to improve more because there are not many Ugandans who have forming factories.
We are told that I think originally we are 322 and then 200 and 10. So you can imagine, even as old as we are not eliminated because of our age or what. We are competing with these young people.
Now in its third year, the program has helped create dignified and fulfilling work opportunities among youth and women, but this has not been without challenges.
It is expensive to grow businesses this way, so we want to find a way of digitizing the process, first of all, but also democratizing it. Can we get more universities to help in this process, more enterprise support organizations to help, but also getting more grant support in? So that is the main challenge. The second challenge, of course, is policies. Businesses come in, they have to pay tax, they have to pay things like that. And that is still difficult for a very young business.
The High Innovator Program aims at creating an ecosystem where indigenous small and growing businesses can be supported to mature into viable businesses. So far, 18 billion shilling seed funding has been provided. Dennis Igor for UBC News.
Now, UBC News Tonight has come to an end, but of course, we always have a surprise guest every Wednesday evening. Timothy, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
It's good to have me here.
Yes, indeed. So what should we expect on the biggest show in the land today at 10?
You know, everyone is looking at Gaza, Israel, everyone is looking
Yes.
at ADF in Kasese and also in Queen Elizabeth. But we're deciding to look at education versus employability. Because S4 exams are going on.
Oh, yes, they are.
About 300 plus students will be doing the exams there. But we want to ask the question, where is the missing link? If a report came out in 2014 showing about 68% of graduates cannot be employable, what is the problem? What's the missing link? We also look at the new curriculum. Is it the solution? Is it the silver bullet to be able to solve the problems of Uganda's employability? But also being the most entrepreneurial country and also having businesses dying in their first year. Those are some of the questions we're going to put to them. So I have Professor Sally tonight. I also have Fajil Monday. If anything is called education, it's that gentleman.
Okay.
We also have representation from the Ministry of Education. So I'm excited because we're going to create impact and influence policy on what direction it should be taking, especially looking at spending 18 years in school.
Yeah.
18 years.
All right, so look forward to Behind the Headlines with the man himself, Timothy Nyangweso. He'll be tussling it out at 10. But from us in studio and those working tirelessly behind the scenes, we bid you good night.